Hello, this is Dr. Moore, and this video is about temperature inversion. A temperature inversion is a totally natural weather phenomenon that has the effect of making air pollution much, much worse. In order to understand temperature inversions, you need to know two things about the atmosphere. First, you need to know that warm air is less dense than cool air and thus tends to rise in the atmosphere. This is how hot air balloons work. Second, you need to remember that air closest to Earth's surface is usually warmer than air higher in the troposphere. That's why you can enjoy a balmy day of golf in Palm Springs while there's snow on the peaks of the nearby mountains. This means that under normal conditions, warm air from near the surface of the Earth is constantly rising into the higher atmosphere, bringing our pollution with it and dispersing it into the upper atmosphere. But sometimes the weather is such that a layer of warm air will trap a layer of cooler, denser air beneath it. This is what is called a temperature inversion. And it's a totally normal, natural weather phenomenon, just like fog or rainbows. The trouble with temperature inversions, for those of us living in industrial societies, is that a temperature inversion traps pollutants near the ground where we live and we breathe. The cool air near the surface is denser than the warm air above it. So instead of rising into the atmosphere, it just sits there and collects more and more pollutants. Many of the worst air pollution events in human history are associated with temperature inversions, including the Great Smog of 1952. This event killed 4,000 Londoners immediately and probably another 4,000 to 8,000 in the subsequent months. One place that is currently struggling with poor air quality, which is made worse by frequent temperature inversions, is New Delhi. Just to give you a sense of the problem, here are two graphs showing air quality data for the same period of time. The graph on the left shows Washington, D.C., and you can see that we enjoyed good to moderate air quality for much of 2019. The graph on the right shows New Delhi, which has had several days of unhealthy, hazardous, and even a couple of extreme air quality days. The thermal inversion in New Delhi is set up by air coming off the Himalayan mountains, and the pollution comes largely from agricultural fires in northwestern India and Pakistan. We can't really do anything about the mountains, so the temperature inversion isn't going away. But it is possible that better agricultural practices in India could make the air quality for the 20 million people living in New Delhi a little bit better. And that concludes my video on temperature inversions.